Witness a theoretical argument, Washington, D.C., the present. Four intelligent men talking about an improbable thing like going back in time. A friendly debate revolving around a simple issue. Could a human being change what has happened before? Interesting and theoretical because whoever heard of a man going back in time? Before tonight, that is. Because this is The Twilight Zone. A woman about to face terror, which is, even now, coming at her from the Twilight Zone. These are the invaders, the tiny beings from the tiny place called Earth, who would take the giant step across the sky to the question marks that sparkle and beckon from the vastness of a universe only to be imagined. The invaders, who found out that a one-way ticket to the stars beyond has the ultimate price tag. And we have just seen it entered in a ledger that covers all the transactions of the universe. A bill stamp paid in full, and to be found on file in the Twilight Zone.
Rod Serling, creator of the Twilight Zone, will tell you about next week's story after this word from our alternate sponsor. And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week on this very spot, there commences a very kooky chain of occurrences. The story has to do with a young bank clerk who, for some unexplained and most uncanny reason, finds himself able to read other people's minds, and then finds that the power can get him into a peck of trouble and a bushel of travail. Our show is called A Penny for Your Thoughts, and it'll be here waiting for you next week on The Twilight Zone.
Be sure and see the Colgate-Palmolive Company's new comedy show, My Sister Eileen, Wednesday night on many of these same stations.
Jaywalking, you took 10 years off my life.
Mr. Hector B. Poole, resident of the Twilight Zone. Flip a coin and keep flipping it. What are the odds? Half the time it'll come up heads, half the time tails. But in one freakish chance in a million, it'll land on its edge. Mr. Hector B. Poole, a bright human coin on his way to the bank.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear a thing you're thinking.
Can't you?
One time in a million, a coin will land on its edge. But all it takes to knock it over is a vagrant breeze, a vibration or a slight blow. Hector B. Poole, a human coin, on edge for a brief time in the Twilight Zone.
Rod Serling, creator of the Twilight Zone, will tell you about next week's story after this word from our alternate sponsor.
And now, Mr. Serling.
This is room 22, and on the other side of its doors lies an adventure that is as fascinating as it is inexplicable. It's a story that comes to us from Mr. Bennett Cerf, who describes it as an age-old horror tale whose origin is unknown. We've dressed it up in some hospital wrappings and enlisted the performance of Miss Barbara Nichols. Next on the Twilight Zone 22, be prepared to be spooked. It's that kind of story.